Planet Dolan.
From who likes the color pink more to which bathroom stall is the cleanest, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the dumbest things we've seen people fight over. I'm Hellbent, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by MassiveSwingingCock. One day, Salty Squid's friend called him up and asked if he ate his fries before his burger. He told his friend that he normally ate his burger first, making his friend holler in triumph. It turned out that Salty Squid's friend and his other friend had been arguing about what's supposed to be eaten first, the burger or the fries. After Salty Squid's response, his friend took apart and discredited every argument about the fries being eaten first. Salty Squid thought that hearing a grown man get a huge verbal beatdown because he enjoyed eating his fries first was certainly worth answering the phone. Number 9 was submitted by XXBX123. Spinal Palm was walking down the street after school one day when he saw a drunk man in an old white pickup truck. The man had a shabby beard, along with heavy eyebrows and cuts all over his face. Just then, the man got out of his truck and with his Colt 45 revolver shot a woman's feet. The police and EMTs came to the scene and the drunk man was arrested. He began screaming and banging his head on the cop car, not wanting to go to jail. After everything was over, Spinal Palm asked one of the bystanders what had happened. The bystander said that the woman got into a fight with the man over a parking space, but the man didn't want to give it up. He said that he was the king and shot the woman's feet. When Spinal Palm told his mom about it, she didn't believe him. Number 8 was submitted by Nixxxiom. When he was in 6th grade, Nixxxiom was the least popular kid in school. Everybody ignored him, until one day when he went to the bathroom. There, he saw 2 kids beating each other up. He asked them what was going on, and they told him to get the hell out, so he did. Another kid went in to use the toilet, but he was also kicked out. Nixxxiom asked him if he knew what was going on, and the kid told him that the 2 boys were fighting over which stall was the cleanest. Number 7 was submitted by VHR2018. The dumbest thing Zaragamba ever saw people fight over was when he was in middle school. He was talking with a few friends outside when they noticed a couple of teachers running towards a group of students who were huddled around a huge fight. It was between 2 8th grade boys who were swinging and kicking at each other. Some of their strikes even hit the teachers on their heads and abdomens on accident. After the teachers were successful in breaking up the fight, they walked the students inside to go to the principal's office. Before they made it to the door, Zaragamba overheard one of the students reply to a question asked by one of the teachers. The student replied, "He stole my gum!" For a scene that involved a lot of hitting and kicking, the reason for the fight was because one of the boys stole a $1 pack of gum from the other. Number 6 was submitted by Panther Gravity 64. When she was in 3rd grade, Froggy saw 2 girls fighting. They looked very angry with each other, so Froggy and her friend went over to see what the fuss was about. The teacher had left the room for a few minutes, so there was nobody there to separate them. With some help from her friend, Froggy was able to separate the girls. They tried calming them down, while asking what the fight was about. The girls had been fighting over who had the longest fingernails. When the teacher returned to the classroom, Froggy and her friend explained that the girls had fought and what their fight was about. In the end, their teacher made them stay inside for lunch to clip their fingernails. Number 5 was submitted by The Only Sabersmith. One day, James Shark invited a couple of his friends over to play some video games. They played for about an hour when a fight broke out. While James Shark sat back and watched, his friends kicked, punched, and pulled each other's hair out. James Shark's mom overheard the commotion and broke up the fight. She asked what the fight was about, and one of James Shark's friends answered by telling her they were arguing over who won the game they were playing. The game they were playing was Star Wars Battlefront 2. The dumb thing was they were playing a cooperative match. They were both on the Empire, which had won. After his friends told his mom, they were sent home early and didn't speak to each other for a week. Number 4 was submitted by T Comics. The dumbest thing Sid's ever seen anyone fight over was a toothpick. One time, when Sid's brother, their mother, and their mother's friend went to a restaurant, his brother took about 10 toothpicks from a dish. Their mother's friend also took some. After getting into their car, their mother's friend turned around just as Sid's brother was sticking one of the toothpicks into his mouth. She started yelling,
"Hey, is that my toothpick?"
Confused and upset that their mother's friend was yelling, Sid's brother yelled,
"No, this is my toothpick! I just got this from inside!"
For some reason, their mother's friend didn't believe him. They continued to fight until they got home, which was when their mother had enough. She got out of the car and screamed at both of them to either stop fighting or throw away the toothpicks they had. Since then, Sid never took a toothpick whenever he was around his brother or their mother's friend. Number 3 was submitted by Fallen Little Angel 670. When Snoopy was in preschool, she was friends with 2 girls who were overly possessive of her. One day, they asked her to tell them which one of them was her best friend. Snoopy didn't have a response, so they started claiming themselves as her best friend. Soon they began arguing over her. During playtime, one of her friends wanted to play blocks, while the other wanted to make arts and crafts. They wanted her to do both with them, so they began tugging at her arms, nearly ripping Snoopy apart. One screamed,
"She's my best friend and she's gonna make butterfly wings with me!"
The other screamed,
"No, she's my best friend and we're gonna make a skyscraper!"
The fight didn't last long because their teacher put them all in timeout. To this day, Snoopy doesn't know why she was also punished, since she was the victim. Number 2 was submitted by EmyTheOtakuChick. In kindergarten, Doopy had 2 friends who would always fight about who loved the color pink more. When they sat at one of the tables to color, they argued about who would get to color with the pink crayon first. Then they would start hoarding the pink crayons, so the teachers had to get more pink crayons so everyone else in the class would be able to use them. The fight continued until the 1st grade, when one of them liked the color purple instead. Doopy still wonders why they fought over who loved the color pink more. Number 1 was submitted by Flowey the Flower 9000. The dumbest thing Melissa ever saw people fight over was if soft drinks were called pop or soda. 2 fellow students couldn't agree on which one it was, so one guy pushed the other, and that was when all hell broke loose. Everyone, including Melissa, watched them fight. It ended up getting broken up, and the 2 students got lunch detention. I would have made them share a cola. Huge thanks for the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's the creepiest thing you've ever done without getting caught? Let us know on the Reddit page linked below and you might be featured in a future countdown. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.